Remember not too long ago, James Comey put 8647 on his social media, and the right wing flipped out, and I had to go to the White House with 8647 on my t-shirt and present myself at every single checkpoint around the White House and the Treasury Department to prove that it is not a threat, and the security forces around the White House don't think it's a security threat. Well, there's a new app out, and they're flipping out in the same way. By the way, I highly recommend this app, but first let's see Sean Hannity plug this app. He didn't mean to, but he's a dipshit. He plugged this app, and let's see how it goes.
On the heels of the huge Supreme Court ruling on Friday, the DOJ now continues to implement President Trump's immigration agenda. Earlier today, the department filed a lawsuit against sanctuary.
So he opens up with his usual bullshit about how evil the Democrats are and how great Trump is and how great this mass deportation thing is. And then he mentions a 2-minute and 41-second CNN piece. Let's hear that.
News CNN appeared to promote the app. How nice of them. Take a look.
I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether. You open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area, and then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data.
Now, he staged that especially for his next guest, who is bringing back the sad blonde jokes. She's making the blonde jokes accurate. Anyway, here she is, the bitch of the week.
Madam Attorney General, great to have you, as always. Let's start with these lawsuits, the one against Los Angeles.
Madam. There are some contexts where that may be accurate. I don't know. But wow, what a kiss up. Madam Attorney General. I say, yo, bitch, talk.
American citizens, and you cannot do that. These sanctuary policies are the root of the cause of violence.
And they spend the next few minutes mutual masturbation, whatever you want to call it. If you want to hear the idiot's comments in full context, I've shared the actual title of the video and the channel. It's Fox News. They got, 14 million subscribers. And Pam Bondi has a warning for the creator of ICE tracking app. I'm recording this at 5:28 p.m. on the 1st of July. This was put up on YouTube 18 hours before. Let's see what happened in the last 18 hours, but first, let's hear him talk about the app.
If you have or put out an application or a warning system that ICE agents are in the area, are you guilty of obstruction? Are you guilty of aiding and abetting in that case? And by the way, if you're a sanctuary state, does that status aid and abet just the very status of it?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. And people obviously are ICE agents, all of our federal agents who are working hand in hand on these task forces, our federal agents from the Justice Department could be injured. He's giving a message to criminals where our federal officers are, and he cannot do that. And we are looking at it. We are looking at him, and he better watch out.
You know, I don't like him. But I'm going to quote him. Brick Jonesy, also known as Clay Foundations. I'm going to say it to Pam. You ain't going to do shit. You ain't going to do shit. Because there's nothing illegal about it. Just like 8647, you bimbo of a moron. Now let's see, why did Sean do this at this particular time?
You know, the only reason that we even drew any attention to it was because you were on the program.
So the only reason he did it at this time was to impress the blonde bitch. Okay, thanks for admitting that, Sean.
And I wanted to make sure that you did see it, because nobody watches CNN, to be very honest.
So make sure you all understand. He said nobody watches CNN. He only brought it to her attention to impress her. Okay, so if nobody watches CNN and you bring it up, Who's responsible for the 16 million downloads that's happened in the next 18 hours?
And it's important that, these things do get out there in the ether, and people do know about them, and people, there's a lot of chatter and social media, and I want people to know that if they're involved in this, they are putting ICE officers' lives in jeopardy, or if they dox the homes of ICE officers.
That's right.
That scares me too.
Well, Sean, you did set off a firestorm on social media, and because of you, it went from 10,000 downloads in a month to 16 million downloads overnight. Everyone followed suit with your reporting, so you're responsible. Thank you very much. In fact, I thanked you directly. I commented this morning, thank you, thank you, thank you, Sean Hannity. Did I say thank you? Until this aired, several similar apps were being used, none with a large enough user base to make it effective. This particular one started about a month ago and had 10,000 users from coast to coast. After this, everybody went to ICEBLOCK. It's being used coast to coast, and it's the single largest downloaded app from the iPhone App Store in the time since you aired this. Now we have an effective app with an effective user base to actually work. You, sir, are the man. Oh, I misspelled, sir. You, sire, are the man. Thank you. Best 10 hours from the internet. I'd like to buy you a coffee for getting the word out. Indeed, yes. ICEBLOCK is the biggest download in the last 24 hours from the time I'm recording this, 5:39 p.m. One more time, CNN, which according to him, nobody watches, was a 2-minute, 41-second piece, and it had about a minute and a half of lead-in before they even mentioned the app. So the 16 million, that's on you, Sean. And no, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Let's see what happens in the next 18 hours. Midas Touch, one of the many that I saw. This is how I found out that you mentioned it, that CNN mentioned.
They've crossed the line here. This is out of control. I know, it's just simply disgusting, and any network that covers that is disgusting as well. So I'm hoping DOJ steps in there and see if they cross that line of impeding federal law enforcement officers.
So Tom says any network that covers it is disgusting as well. Tom, do you realize you're covering it on Fox News, and they're getting the word out? Thank you, Tom. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's see what else.
Look, Lawrence, you're not talking about this. Assaults against ICE is up over 500%. Now you got an app that's going to tell where ICE operations are going to be.
Last week it was the word obliterated and set back decades, which became a talking point for all the right-wing idiots on all the sources, from the press secretary, Tom, obliterated. Okay, this week it's 500% assaults on ICE officers. Yeah, we've seen it 100 times, ICE assaults without identifying citizens, green card holders, illegal immigrants, basically people without identifying, and in a reaction, a flailing hand might hit them, and they're calling it assaults. This is why we're doing this. This is the very fucking reason, Tom, we're going after ICE. But it didn't stop with Sean or this guy interviewing Tom. It continued.
To get dangerous, illegal immigrant criminals off of our streets. Since President Trump took office, ICE has been committed to removing the worst of the worst.
Now, here we have another MAGA bitch on the propaganda for the state news agency, Fox Spews. And she's going over a cherry-picked handful of dangerous criminals, but we see the vast majority are hardworking people just helping our economy. And in some cases, citizens who just got in ICE's way. Let's see what this idiot has to say.
ICE says assaults on agents are up over 500% this year.
Yeah, the 500% thing is this week's talking point. Last week it was obliterate.
But instead of protecting the brave men and women working for ICE, CNN is out with this. An article touting a brand new app that alerts people of ICE sightings in their area.
Again, it's not brand new. It's a month old, and there are similar apps 2 and 3.5 months old. Also didn't get a lot of downloads. But because you people keep pushing this narrative, people are becoming aware, and they're downloading it. And it's your audience that's downloading it. How about that, Fox Spews? your audiences are downloading. Also, other people, like the people watching this idiot. Here she is.
Thanks, Caroline. I just watched a CNN segment on a new app called ICEBLOCK, and it kind of appeared to be promoting this app where you can tell people where ICE agents are. Given the recent rise...
An app that tells people where ICE agents are?
Yes. And given the rise, I believe, 500% increase in assaults on ICE agents, I wanted to see if you could comment on that and why CNN would be promoting such an app.
Well, it's a very good question. I'll have to go back and watch the clip myself, but...
Well, isn't that cute? Pretend like you haven't seen it or heard of it. Come on. It's all over Fox News. This plant posed that question for you. You were ready for it.
Surely it sounds like this would be an incitement of further violence against our ICE officers. As you know, as you stated, there's been a 500% increase in violence against ICE agents. Law
enforcement sending a really strong message about ICE spotting apps.
Government officials calling them reckless and irresponsible after they were promoted by a national cable news network. Fox News' Ingrid Kelly with this story.
Sending an alert through a mobile app.
The person who created the app put out a warning or a disclaimer and said, this is for informational purposes only, not to be used in any violent ways.
ICE spotting apps being used across the country to report and track locations of immigration and customs enforcement agents as immigration raids continue.
The application itself is a matter of freedom of speech.
But the ICE acting director is speaking out after he says a news outlet promoted the app during its broadcast.
Yep, CNN did a 2-minute, 41-second bit, and Sean Hannity himself said nobody watches CNN, but we've seen this wall-to-wall coverage ever since, and now the app is huge, and probably growing even more since I last looked. 16 million since I last looked. 16 million when I last looked.
Crackdown on migrants living in the United States illegally. A new app is giving people a tool to avoid immigration agents. It's called ICEBLOCK.
It's called ICEBLOCK, and I deleted the old app and I've added onto the 16 million, and now I'm using it. It's basically the same technology as Waze when you're driving around and you see police ahead or red light camera ahead 1 mile. And when you pass it, if it's still there, you click still there or not there anymore. It's public fucking information, you fucking morons. If you're driving around, somebody sees you, click. It's not doxing. Now, I say dox the fuckers. I say these thugs, these criminals, these people who are attacking the very core of the United States are the enemies of the United States, and I say dox them. I don't say commit violence toward them, at least not yet, but dox them. The reason they're masking up and not identifying is because some of them are not trained. Some of them aren't even ICE. They're working with ICE. They're just the hired thugs. And they're breaking the fucking law and they're attacking America. So, yeah, download ICEBLOCK. Use it for whatever fucking purposes you want. When you're using Waze and you see police 1 mile ahead, use it. Use it for whatever you want. Do people use police 1 mile ahead to attack the police? No. They use it to slow down. To sum it up, yes, Sean Hannity, you, sir, got the ball rolling on combining the 3 or 4 apps out there into one huge app that everybody's using. Because you brought attention to it, and then people brought attention to you, and so on and so on. So now I am using it, and as far as I can tell, the rest of the world are using it. There are more users than your audience. So one last message. This is a unified message to Pan Bundy, cosplay Christy Nome, Sean Hannity, Tom Czar, whatever his fucking name is, to all of these right-wing haters of America. This is my closing message to you. What are your questions? Put them in the comments below. Email me. Whatever. Happy to answer. Cheerio.